When you get what you want in your struggle for self and the world makes you king for a day, just go to the mirror and look at yourself and see what that man has to say. For it isn't your father or mother or wife whose judgment upon you must pass. The fellow whose verdict counts most in your life is the one staring back from the glass. You may be like Jack Horner and chisel a plum and think you're a wonderful guy, but the man in the glass says you're only a bum if you can't look him straight in the eye. He's the fellow to please, never mind all the rest, for he's with you clear to the end. And you've passed your most dangerous, difficult test if the man in the glass is your friend. You may fool the whole world down to the pathway of years and get pats on the back as you pass, but your final reward will be heartache and tears if you've cheated the man in the glass. Good morning, James Kerr. Yes, that was a beautiful poem that was passed on yesterday, and how significant. I think when we read this and understand how difficult, and people that I work with, it is to look at myself or look at yourself in the mirror without passing judgment, without criticising, and just to balance the thing up a wee bit out of the woman's journey. And these are, and I'm quite sure people will relate to it, these are words that we tend to say. When you become fully accepting of yourself, you will not fear judgment of others. You will only feel confidence when you enter a room. You will feel equal as opposed to less than. You will be able to freely share your body with your partner and enjoy your intimacy more. My butt is too big. My breasts are sagging. My stomach is fat. My legs are like tree trunks. I can't bear to look at myself. I am disgusted with my body. My nose is bent. My ears are enormous. I've no chin. I've a double chin. I've bingo wings. My skin is horrible. And you may think that this is what teenage girls would say, but no. These are all affirmations that I have heard from adult women. And if you are the mother of young girls, quite possibly have told them that they are beautiful and not to be comparing themselves with other girls or females in magazines. But as a mother, what have you been saying to yourself? You know, are you like the man in the mirror? What have we been saying to ourselves all these years? We can't expect our young ladies to grow up loving themselves and have confidence if we are constantly saying, do as I say, but not as I do. It doesn't work like that. Your children pick up on everything that you show them, whether you believe they are observing or not. It rubs off on them. So perhaps today bring awareness to what you are saying to yourself. It's never too late to change. Don't live a life of regret. Let go of hoping for a better past and wishing you had loved yourself more. Do it now, because this day will soon become your past. So, yeah, all of these things, and they have been coming up, and this is the key to life. This is what I absolutely believe. The key is to life is that when you get back to self, and the self is actually past this, the body form. And we can't see past the body form. We can't see past it. Oh, Jesus, look at this today and look at what this way is. But when you can come to that place of being able to look at yourself, and not just in the mirror, when you take your selfie, when you're in a photograph, and this discussion came up always, and we all do it. If someone takes a photograph and there's a group photograph, we'll always go to our picture first. What do I look like? What am I looking like now? Don't put that one on. I'm guilty of that myself too. But self-acceptance, self-love, to be at peace with self. If we are judging on ourselves, you are going to fear other people judging on you. And that's why we restrict ourselves in life. That's why we limit our potential. That's why we do not spread our wings. That's why we do not spread our love and joy and talents and abilities. Because we have held so much judgment on ourselves, we fear that others too will judge us. And that's why words hurt. When someone says something to you, and if you believe it to be true about yourself, of course it's going to hurt you. You know, if someone happens to pass a comment on a wee flaw that we have within that we believe to be true about ourselves, of course it's going to hurt you. But if you can see past that, This is the key to life, is self-love. And like you'll see children, they have no bother at all, none. But then the conditioning continues throughout life on ourselves. So that is a challenge that I have set to a few people this week, is to start to look at ourselves in the mirror. And it's going to be difficult, and you're going to feel stupid, and you're going to hear that, oh, that's ego, that you shouldn't love yourself. Who are you to love yourself? Who are you not? Because that's what you are. You are love. But the ego has blocked you off from that. Don't you dare love yourself, whatever you do. Because if you loved yourself, then you would end up loving life. Imagine if we done that. Imagine if we actually loved ourselves, to say, do you know what? I love my voice. I love my eyes. I love my body. And if we don't really love it and we say, oh, well, I'm saying these words, but it doesn't feel right. It's like, oh, this resistance. Because that comes up too when you look in the mirror to say, you know, I'm willing to love you. I'm willing to give this a shot. I'm willing to get to know you. You're going to hear that voice. Are you kidding me? Did you see the state of you this morning? Look at you. You've let yourself go. That's going to come in. And you say, I hear you. I hear you. But that's all right. Once we affirm something, and it's so difficult, but if you want a more peaceful life, a more easier life, it has to come down to that self-love, to peace. And it doesn't matter, and we'll all know this, what shape, what size, how anyone looks. You will know when someone enters into a room, they have this zest about them, they have confidence, they have an air. They don't even have to speak, but there's something about them, and you're drew to that. And if you have seen that, oh my God, aren't they so beautiful? Regardless of their shape or size. Aren't they amazing? Because of the peace they have brought to themselves. It's all energy. Everything's really energy in life. And I really believe that is the key to everything. It must come back down to self. Me. My responsibility. And as I spoke to someone this morning, a beautiful young lady that has so much love and talents and gifts, but very shy on coming forth. What will other people think of me? When we believe that, we are making it about ourselves, about me. And when we get out of our own way, we make it about the we. Who am I not to be? We are simply vessels. That's it. Simply vessels. And when you come into that truth of self, of that love of life, of peace, it's easy. It just ripples. It's energy. It goes forth from you. So perhaps that could be something that we could sit in today when you're looking in the mirror. Or do you actually look? When you're brushing the hair, when you're putting on makeup, do you actually see yourself, but see past even the form? Do you have what is the conversation that you have with yourself today? That's ridiculous. Oh my God, how stupid are you? As someone said this week, they remembered what they were saying to their children all these years. God, silly mummy, silly mummy. I'm only catching on now. I'm only catching on. We'll say, but sure, it's just a turn of phrase. But how many times do we praise ourselves in front of our children? Didn't mummy do great there? Regardless if they laugh. How we speak to ourselves. Life shows up as us. When you come into self-love, of self-acceptance, this is who I am. It doesn't mean I have to be like Jane or Jack or Martha or Arthur. You are just you. And be the best version of you today.